Oh, like a.
Welcome to Wild and Out, your THL Wild podcast. My name is ItsMeMikeV. I am joined by NHL NJ Fan 1, memnarch, and our special guest for this week, basedinc. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? Or tonight?
Pretty well. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
I came home to pad thai, so excellent.
Oh, lucky you. Oh,
I
Yeah.
uh, I haven't slept more than I think like 4 hours in like 3 days. So if I fall asleep during this, just yell at me,
I
okay?
mean,
don't worry.
caffeine's a substitute for sleep, so you just need enough caffeine and it offsets the
Oh,
loss of sleep.
I've been supplementing with a lot of caffeine, but there's only so much you can do. Uh,
Oh, we will
With that
make it.
attitude, yeah.
So let's get started right away. Let's jump into it. You guys want to cover playoffs first, then?
yeah.
All right, let's do it. First up, we have Nuke the Waygate versus Power Creeps. Memnarch, this is all yours.
Yeah, this was a pretty one-sided. Like me and Jack brought the exact same lineup because we realized that Black Swan and Silver Tea usually had a fourth. Their fourth deck was usually an aggro deck, so we just decided to blind hard counter their number 4 line, and it worked out really well. Rice Bowl versus Jonara. Jonara just kind of annihilated him. And Kavera versus Rami. Rami's Reno Priest almost got reverse swept, and he was super nervous about it.
That's
But
spooky.
yeah, oh man, it was close. And then Pasca didn't really comment on his games against Toronto, Mexico. So,
I wonder why.
but yeah, this was a very one-sided win
Yeah,
for Power Creeps.
seems like it.
It also makes me the greatest 4-5 player win loss wise because I'm 21-16 now, beating out all the other 4 and 5 players.
You are really gonna stick to that, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I have that 4-5 like seed on lockdown now.
Well then. Oh, that covers the first match. We have a Neo Team versus Board Space Invaders next. Base, that's on you, right? You're covering that?
I think I have the last one, but I can take this one if you would like.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So in the one we had a Duin and Blue Sombrero in a Blue Sombrero copying Duin's last week's lineup, which Duin a very just hooked him up with the cart or the decks, let him borrow his all golden 120. And then MTG Squirrel taking down Adamus in another sweep. It's me, Mike V, taking down Hockey Boys 3-2. Slate sweeping Martian Boo and Yada falling to FBM2 in another sweep. That's a lot of sweeps. But yeah, kind of a strong week for a Noyo team, taking out one of their brown competitors in the wild card.
Absolutely. Mike, do you have any comments on this?
Uh, we had one before Yada even played, so Yada got swept, but he's beating himself up, and we told him relax. We already won the week. Doohan didn't even know we won when he played his match. It felt really good. It's a good way to start the playoffs. My match, the pressure was already off because we had 2 sweeps going into it. We're usually a pretty relaxed team, but we put a lot of work into this week. I'm really excited with the way that this team is coming together, and I'm excited for this upcoming week. I think another team is really showing its power. So here we go.
All right, we'll have to see. So on to the next matchup. We have Patches Payback versus Wild THL Fanatics.
Yes, Patches Payback versus Wild THL Fanatics. All right, so we had Wild THL Fanatics taking a 14-11 over Patches Payback. Surlos having an amazing season, 8-1 Well, 8-1 record, taking it 3-0 over Electric Sheep City. Lefty losing 3-2. Draco Cat winning that one. Brian O'Brien sweeping Dirty Mike 3-0. Tony Montana winning 3-2 over Dr. Bomb, and Unlimited Power winning 3-1 over Brushy Tuna. Yeah, I mean this is a really close match. I mean, you got sweeps on both sides, 3-2s on both sides. Unlimited Power really decided this match with that 3-1 win. He's got to feel really good about that. I didn't see any. Surlos brought a Reno Hunter. Other than that, though, also Tony Montana brought a Reno Hunter. Other than that, though, there weren't really any crazy decks.
I think there is something to mention from here. Wild THL Fanatics brought 3 Soul Demon Hunters.
Oh, Soul Demon. Okay, yeah, you're right. I didn't have it in front of me. That is, I had Patches Payback's lineup in front of me. Yeah, that is something to mention. Yeah, that's some interesting lineups, and to win with those, I mean, those Reno Hunters. I don't know, to bring that in the playoffs. That's pretty crazy, but it worked out. They both won, so I don't know. But Wild THL Fanatics, the last year's runners up, showing that they're still winning in the playoffs. They're coming up against you guys, F2L Viridian, so I wish them luck. It's going to be a really interesting week. We'll see.
Yeah, we will cover that in a bit. But first, we have one final match to cover, and that's the Grimscale Gang versus Seas of Cheese. So this one was very close and was unfortunately decided with the final match. White Delight keeping it close against Slad 3-2. Matty Ebbs doing the same 3-2 against Scritch. Siege sweeping Swashmurgler. Siege has been dominant since joining mid-season. Yo Daddy taking another 3-2 win over Fake Urine. This was mostly close, and then we get to the final match. And Risa, unfortunately, had missed the match, which meant a DQ. And Seas of Cheese gets through with a DQ win. So, very rough.
They only won 2 matches, too. So this was a points decider.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Very unfortunate. So, but
that's gotta sting.
This does mean something. And I think we should take a look at the bracket for that. So, looking at the bracket real quick, we have 4 teams from the Green Conference in the playoffs. Pretty sure that means Green is the best conference, guys.
I don't think that's what it means, but because the Brown Conference had to play itself, but
it's just math.
That's okay.
4 is greater than any number. We have the majority, so we win.
True.
Yep.
All right.
And F2L is the top team in there, so that means we're the best. Haha.
Okay.
But yes, we'll have F2L versus Wild THL Fanatics up. Simp versus Power Creeps. Hattleship versus Seas of Cheese. Yes, Seas of Cheese. I got them confused with the Grimscale Gang because they have similar logos. Hattleship versus Seas of Cheese, and Bash Brothers versus a Noyo team.
These logos are not at all representative of any of the teams.
Not at all. But it's all good. So let's keep the ball rolling, though. Yeah, because we have a lot to cover tonight.
Yes, we do.
So, predictions.
Yep.
First up, F2L Viridian versus Wild THL Fanatics. Mike?
Yep. If mine will load, this always happens to me. Okay. F2L Viridian versus Wild THL Fanatics. We have Ultimate versus Electric Sheep City. It's looking like we have everyone picking Ultimate in this match. Ultimate straight across the board. We have MartyB against Draco Cat. We're split here. 2 for Draco Cat, 2 for MartyB. And Neji Boston versus Brian O'Brien. We've got Neji Boston straight across the board. Itachi versus Unlimited Power. We have 3 for Itachi here, 1 for Unlimited Power. And the Rotted Zombie versus Dr. Bomb. 3 Rotted Zombie, 1 Dr. Bomb. I should have named 2 picks, but that's okay. I'll just name who has it. Who I have. F2L winning 4-1. Memnarch has F2L winning 3-2. NHL, you have them winning. Oh, of course, 5-0 F2L. And
Would it ever be any other way?
yeah, and base you have them 4-1. So
4-1.
No, I have it a 5-0 as well.
Based was the
What
smart
about-
one here.
yeah,
I mean-
The rest of you guys are
you're
smooth
right.
brain.
Yeah.
Mm.
You are,
I believe-
you're
F2L saying in Pro a couple seasons ago is embrace the villain narrative, and I think that they should just bring that here. They're a scary team.
Yeah, we
Yes.
are the villain. So
You are correct.
yes. So next up we have Seas of Cheese versus Hattleship 2 BBC. So for the first matchup, everyone except for Based herself voted basedinc. Based, you want to explain why you voted against yourself?
The Quaz.
The Quaz strategy.
Oh,
I mean, Slide's a really strong player. I just sometimes I go the Quaz, sometimes I go the Sage / memnarch.
Fair enough. All right, next up, Corvette versus Scritch. We all have Corvette taking this. For Bill Snyder versus Siege, we're split. Mike and Based have Bill Snyder taking this. Memnarch and I believe Siege can't take this, so that's one to watch.
Siege is on a roll.
He really is, so keep an eye out for that one. Between A2 Battleship and Figurin, Mike V has Figurin winning this. The rest of us have A2 Battleship. A2, if you've done your research, you'll know what Figurin is bringing. That's all I'm going to say. As for Ridiculous Hat versus THL Lemur, we all have Ridiculous Hat taking this. Our hat in the 5 slot is just insane. Unbelievable. Can't see him losing this. And I believe that leaves all of us having Hattleship coming over Seas of Cheese.
I believe so, yes.
So, with that said, on to the next one. We have Power Creeps versus Straight Impin' Metamorphin Pimpin' Simp.
Well,
All right.
I think I know how this is going to go.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, I like I said, I think it's called the memnarch pick. A Sage may have started it, but memnarch is popularizing it. But so we got in the first match, we got Snake Vods taking on Jack, and that is going to be a 3-1 pick in Jack's favor from the casters. Should be a great match there. Snake Vods has been doing work. And then in the second match, we got 3-1 in Skittles' favor. In the third match, Nifola versus Rami. It's a sweep for Rami. I'm very shocked to see that we picked the Grandmaster. Succulent versus Memnarch. I almost spite picked Succulent, but I couldn't do it, and that's 3-1 for Memnarch there from the casters. And then a Zancat versus Posca split 2-2, but looks close. Mike V called it 3-2 for Power Creeps. Memnarch did his thing, called it 5-0 for the Power Creeps.
wait, what?
And I know, right? And the other two casters also 3-2 for Power Creep. So we think it's going to be close. Memnarch knows it's not because that's what Memnarch do.
Yes. And now
Oh,
for
ye of little faith. We shall prove you guys wrong.
we will see. But for the final matchup, we have Bash Brothers versus a Noyo team.
All right. So it looks like we have Duin being picked for all four of us against Reverb. Reverb's had a really good start, but I think he's been slowing down a bit. Like, he was undefeated at one point, but now he's not. So it's nice to see us all agreeing on something. All right. So Mr. Python versus MTG Squirrel. Looks like we have. Oh, looks like the only person voting for MTG Squirrel is Mike V, and the rest of us have Mr. Python going for the win.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Next we have it's Mike V versus Jailstorm. And let's see here. Oh, we actually have a split. Looks like Mike V picked himself, and so did NHL.
Yep.
And the rest of us picked Jailstorm.
Well, the rest of us is 2, so
Okay.
Still the rest of us.
Don't make me
Still the rest of
swap.
us.
Don't make me switch my pick.
All right, so Slate versus Zoroshio. It looks like Mike V picked Slate to win, and so, but we also, me and NHL also picked Slate to win, and it looks like Base picked Zoroshio. So 3-1 for Slate. And last but not least, we have the rank 5 or the seed 5 with the Yada versus a Nubinator. It looks like Mike V picked the Yada to win this, and.
go ahead.
And it looks like NHL and Based also picked Yada to win this, and I am the only person who believes in a Nubinator.
Oh, we do love
almost-
upsets.
It's almost like I believe in my whole team.
Hold on. Well, with that said, we have covered our wild segment, and now we have something very special this week. Mike, what do you think?
So, we are celebrating the 5th anniversary of THL this week. We're going to be doing a giveaway on this show. We're going to be doing this next expansion's packs. At some point during the show, I'm going to instruct you guys to post your THL username in the chat.
I think it's easier if you just tell me when.
Yeah.
Just
Either
tell me
way.
when, and we'll
I'm
take.
just going to say when.
Yeah.
And we're just going to, whoever's here is going to be entered into the giveaway. So I would stick around. We're going to, that way simpler. We went through several. If this is confusing, it's because to do this giveaway, we went through so many different versions of how are we going to do this and make it fair. Because we have a chat, we just have people talking, we have people coming and going. It's complex. We don't have a ton of time, so I can't explain it all. But okay, so whoever's here at that moment will be entered into the giveaway, and one person will win. So I just advise sticking around. There is a 5th anniversary tournament coming up this upcoming weekend on Sunday at noon. And every show this week is having special guests. I'm not going to go through everything, but there are guests, there's giveaways. I would tune in all week. I'm going to. I like free packs. So yeah, I'm excited. So we're gonna spend the rest of the show. We're gonna do an interview with Based. We're gonna talk about Battlegrounds. We're gonna talk about the Battlegrounds series for THL. This is something we've never done before, so I'm really excited. So let's just dive into it.
Yeah. So first thing we have is an interview with Based Inked, the mastermind herself. Based is the mind behind the Battlegrounds series as well as the head of said series. She'll be pretty much the commissioner, just like our head is for the other series. She is the person to go to with all of your Battlegrounds needs.
Yeah, I'm not going to get a bunch of pinks for that one, huh?
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see. Make myself a Battlegrounds commish like Ted has for Hero.
Yeah, exactly. So with that said, let's get it started. So you're a new member to the board. It's surprising to see you, of all people, take on such a large project. How did that happen?
So I come in and they're joking. They announced that I was coming in to help with this big project. And I get in and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, but we are starting Battlegrounds. It's not yours though." And then a couple weeks down the line, they realized that without assigning one person it doesn't really move along. So they just they handed it off to me, and I was happy to do it. So kind of just happened anyways.
All right.
Awesome.
So besides you, was there any driving force into making BG series come to fruition?
I have to say Mako was the one behind the wheel, saying, "Hey, where are we at? Markshire was hopping in, doing a lot of edits on the rules that I was writing, and then, just every time I would come and say, "Hey, I've done like a major update," everyone look and give me the feedback. I would have 3 options for how we're going to do points or something, and people would give feedback on that. So it was very collaborative, but Mako was the driving force. Who, to quote him, he said, "I like new things," so he was really excited to be a part of it.
That's
Awesome.
really nice.
Yeah, no, Mako's great. He really is, and he's also one of the driving forces behind this 5th anniversary week. He's really helped out.
This is his brainchild. Yeah, the whole thing is Mako's idea.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job with this. So we've talked about how this all came to be, and one of the things you talked about was the process behind determining the season structure, which I never even think about, like how that gets decided. Can you just elaborate on what that process, how that came to be?
So it's this is our first opportunity to have directly compete in duos and teams. So we wanted to not just have 8 teams send 1 player to a lobby, but allow you to compete as a team. So we figured the best way to do that would be to split up duos and do it that way, because 4v4 is a very different format. That, I mean, it's possible we could explore that later, but doing the 2v2 allowed us to do this somewhat flexible scheduling that we had in mind, where we wanted to set 2 times a week. That way, you just have to be able to attend one of them. We toyed with the idea of saying seeds go to separate times of the week, but because it plays like Pro and Wild, where your seeds can change, I set aside all my Sundays, but now I'm a 1 seed and I got to play on Fridays or whatever.
Yeah.
So we kind of walked that back. And then, so we had an idea of, okay, well, there's 4 teams in each lobby. So in a 5-week season, you see 15 different opponents. In 12 teams, you have 11 other opponents. So now you have to play 4 opponents twice. So that was kind of our idea. Is we'd have a division where you are going to see these 4 teams twice, and you'll see 1 extra opponent. And then we went to try and schedule that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was like, how do we automate this? So Hat and I spent, I tried to do this manually, and I was just running my head into the wall. And so Hat goes, let me take a crack at this. And we kind of just made sure that everyone saw each other at least once and tried to avoid teams seeing 3 times. And we added a couple weeks because we were initially picturing a 5-week season, and we ended up with a 7-week season where now everyone saw each other at least once, a lot twice. And we were like, okay, when Hat posted this Sunday is when we finished. So 10 my time, 1 a.m. there, we just said, okay, this is good. And then we looked, and there was no clear teams playing in divisions, even though that's how we'd set it up in the sheets. There's A1 through 4 playing B1, and we go, okay, let's eliminate divisions and change it so that you're competing against everyone. So we changed it to then take similar to Wild, we're going to do a top 6 cut for playoffs, where the bottom 4 will play a play-in week to top 2, and then we'll have a final week of the top 4. So the top 2 point earners automatically make it to the finals, and then the other teams will play into a 1-week final. So should be a really exciting. We'll probably iterate on that and do a longer playoff going forward after the alpha. But that was kind of the progress there. And this was over the last month that we kept changing, iterating, and asking questions and trying to figure out what was the best thing, and taking the feedback of all of the test weekends. We talked to those teams very, very extensively.
Awesome. I mean, I gotta say, the set schedule times, first of all, as a captain, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't have to chase anybody down. Reverb's on my team, so he is in Australia, so that it's a little difficult for him, but that's okay. He's willing to make it work. And I like the playoff format. I think that's perfect for the alpha season because it's not too complicated. It'll just be 6 teams. That's perfect. and I think I think this is the simplest. It's a Occam's razor where it's the simplest version seems to be the best.
Yeah.
And when I was explaining it to my team today, like when Hap posted it, it was very straightforward with the lobby, how it's all going to play out, and I'm just so excited, for this week to start. Like I'm playing on Friday, and I'm so pumped, So yeah, all right.
Well, given that and how things are starting this week, can you describe the point system a bit for us? Like, it's a bit different from other series, given how different Battlegrounds is. Kind of curious to hear the thought process behind that and how it works.
So we the very first thing we saw is somebody grabbed like a I think it was a TFT thing where it had a very similar point structure and it pointed like the points went all the way through 8th. Battlegrounds only rewards top 4s, and a lot of the Battlegrounds tournaments have followed that. But like that doesn't really kind of sit in line with the THL like mentality of like encouraging max competition. Like we kind of have shied away from doing the Challenger Series again because people just drop, and that's not where we want. So we don't want like, oh, I'm not making top 8 or I'm not making top 4. That's 0 points anyways. I'm done. So we wanted to kind of encourage you to compete to the max every single lobby and encourage that. And then on top of that, like you get a point for showing up. Now, if you DQ, there's an extra punishment. You could have gotten a free point. You probably would have gotten more. And like a first is still 10. So that was kind of the thing. So we gave a point bump at first place and then a point bump at 4th. So you get an extra point for making top 4 and you get an extra point for getting first over what you would have gotten any other ones. And so like with all that, no matter what the point scoring system is, I have a feeling that the best teams are going to perform better. It's not like, oh, well, that team kept getting 8th and now they're here. They're in the finals because they got a bunch of single points. Like I don't think that's going to be how it's going to be. So hopefully this is like pretty feels good and really encourages max competition.
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, hoping for the best.
I think I like the point system personally. I think having points for lower seeds, like you said, it encourages people to, even if they're losing, to keep playing at their best.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, this is a fun one for memnarch next.
Yeah, memnarch.
Oh no, did we lose him?
Oh, did we lose memnarch?
He's in here.
Memnarch.
Oh no. Okay,
F
now
in the chat.
I feel bad.
Well, we can just come back to it.
Yeah.
How about that? You can ask to it. Okay, so
Am I back?
Yes,
Oh,
you're
all
here.
All right, so based. This is a real tough question.
It is.
Why did you choose to incorporate over forming an LLC or a sole proprietorship?
I mean, like, I do want to separate it from me. I gotta have the internet persona, so of course I want to kind of separate it and make it its own entity. And then I do want to still take ownership, so I didn't want to, like I'll go for the incorporation instead of the LLC.
All right. So, do you have any? So that means you're a private corporation, right? Instead of public.
Yeah. Currently, we are operating privately.
All right. So no stocks for sale then.
No stocks for sale, not yet.
Sad.
Right.
Oh man.
oh god.
All right. Now with that,
This
give me
is so
back to the Battlegrounds questions.
So you and I talked about this earlier, Base, and I just
Yeah.
had a question. Was there like a decision-making process behind allowing spectating in lobbies? Like, I had a practice session yesterday with my team, and when we would lose, we would spectate each other, and it's almost like having a second person playing a comp with you. So was there like was there a thought like going back and forth about having no spectating, yes having spectating, or was it all the way yes we're having spectating from the start? Or
I mean,
go ahead.
For us, like I think that it was never too much of a worry. Lil Nenko has brought up the point that he thinks he could play 2 people, So his teammate can be a vessel for Lolnunko to play, which he has done. I think he's played without even seeing the board and just having somebody talk to him. So maybe that'll pay off. But we really want to reward the teamwork. This is we're a team organization, and this is the first time that you can compete together as teams. One of the biggest off season hits is always the duos tournament, right? Everyone loves to play that. So why not do it regularly? So we expect people to be in voice calls to be oh, hey, I have this thing. What am I doing? What am I buying here? And to get help from their teammates and, really try and push for that last little bit once their teammate's been eliminated and they can both, come together and work. So that was another part of the letting people decide what lobbies they go to is, do you practice with one teammate on your team and just you have two really strong duos who always play together and communicate well, or can you mix it up? So we wanted to leave that open and see what happens there.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not because I asked you about it earlier, I don't disagree with it. I like this. I personally am excited about, we haven't decided whether we're going to have the same two people play together or, whether we're going to switch it up. But I'm excited about the teamwork aspect of this. I'm hoping we don't, one person doesn't get knocked out in the beginning of the match and if we're spectating the whole time. But, if it comes down to it, I'm excited to have that extra help, so, yeah.
One of the first things that we did run into in the test weekend is someone goes, hey, they got eliminated, but now they're spectating me and I'm about to play their teammate. Is this allowed? And I was like, I mean, I haven't said anything, but no. So from then on, we were like, no, you can't go and scout the opponent because we've talked about lowering the stream delay because if you see somebody's board from 2 turns ago, what's it matter? But if you can see somebody's board as you're about to fight them and you can line up to really take the best trades, that's a huge advantage. So we made sure that if your teammate's alive, you can only spectate them. Once you're both dead, go ahead and spectate the lobby and enjoy the end of the game because you're there until the second game's over, so you can't even leave anyways.
So is the player forced to spectate their teammate then?
They don't have to. You could sit in the lobby and just hang out,
All right, so how no plan survives first contact? Are there any... So there's probably some things you're looking at closely, but you don't know how they'll turn out. So are there any specific aspects of the series that you're looking to change? Or would potentially change next season based on feedback?
Yeah, I mean, we're open to a lot of feedback. It's an alpha season. We expect things to go wrong. One thing I'm really worried about is preparing lobbies. Right now we have a lobby leader, so we're going to have one person that everyone else adds, and then that person will create the lobby. So we're trying to take away, not make it so one person's adding 7 and 7 people add 1, and then that one person has to create it. So that's, I don't know how to make that
This feels like the really old... Okay, so Battle.net 1.0?
No.
Well, okay, so back in the olden times when the dinosaurs roamed, there was this ancient technology called Battle.net, and we used to play StarCraft and Warcraft 3 in it.
Uh-huh.
And basically, one person could create a lobby, and then they could invite people, without, you can just straight up invite them, invite their friends, or give someone a password so they can join the lobby as well. Maybe they have something like that in store.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think that they view this, they look at it 8 friends are going to get together and that's it. It's not, Hearthstone hasn't been tournament friendly ever. So we're not terrible. The other thing we'd like to look at is the point system. We talked about allowing teams to carry a sub. So you have 5 members that are on your team at all times, or up to 5, and that way, if we end up having to fill out sub forms every week, that might just be the way to go. It's hey, you can have 5 players, and that player can just sub in at will, and so you can kind of expand the amount of people that you have at your disposal to play. So those are the kind of things that we had discussed. We asked that. We felt like that probably wasn't going to come up this time, but it's something we've considered.
Yeah, I mean, if the demand for, if say, more people wanted to play than there was teams, that would be perfect. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, that's not a bad idea. So you talking about points? Is there a potential? Was there a discussed, PR system? Is there potential for a PR system in the future? Knowing the variations of MMR that are going to be playing in this series, what's the status on that?
Oh, absolutely. Like for an alpha season, there's like no way we want to do PR. Like, what does that even look like? We have no idea. It's nothing like constructed, So we didn't really look at it this time. It was kind of just not even on the table for the beginning, but it's definitely something we look forward to, especially if it continues to grow and like it's a perfect one to do with a PR system because there's a lot of varying skill. Like there's 10K players, there's multiple 10K players in here who are probably going to smash a lot of lobbies, but still going to be fun for everyone involved, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a very lopsided series from what it seems early on.
I mean, it's similar to the Wild series where we got lots of high caliber players who came in, and it's not as lopsided as you might think. And during the test weekend, Lolnenko and W are both 10K players, and in theirs, I believe each one of them took an 8th in their lobby.
Yeah, I honestly don't think it's going to be like there's so many factors in Battlegrounds, which hero you're offered and how your first 7 turns go.
Yeah.
I mean, memnarch's 4 and 5 in Wild, so
he's the best 4 and 5 though.
Dude, I'm so far ahead of the rest of the 4 or 5 pack. Like you have no idea.
Anyone
it's a shame.
Can roll.
I only hear 4 and 5.
Oh man,
I hear
so
21-16.
Switching gears, talking about Battlegrounds. What's your favorite comp?
It's also including the meta. So I played Battlegrounds here and there. I think the most I played was when it first launched, and it very first launch because Doom and the Tomb was ruining standard. So I played nothing but Battlegrounds, and Menagerie was the comp. And mech. So that was my favorite one. That was when I was like really competing. I have a snapshot of when I was like in the top 200 from that time. It'll be the only time, but I have it. And actually, we named the first pro team I played on as the Menagerie, which
I remember that.
Yeah, it became For the Boys again. That was a diamond brand is For the Boys, and so it was temporarily the Menagerie, and now it's For the Boys again.
Yeah, I remember the Menagerie. Yeah, I love Menagerie too. It's a viable comp now.
Oh yeah, it is.
Considering that Wag Toggle just got nerfed, or not nerfed, buffed. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Menagerie is an awesome comp. It's challenging. It grows. It scales well. It's so much fun to play because it is what you make of it. But yeah, awesome. I'm happy you just didn't say elementals.
No, I like the transition metas where you have like one dominant late game strategy is kind of not as fun. Like Murlocs, it was like, hey, get to where you can get the brand, become the Murloc master. And like before this, it was survive power level, get one of the elemental build arounds, and then become elementals.
Yeah,
I was watching Odd Dragon play, and it was basically try to do the most high tempo thing you possibly can in the first like 5 turns, and then transition to elementals as soon as you like upgrade. Like I think 3 times.
Yeah. Like there was a lot of like Tavern 5 stuff, but yeah, it was you're a stats comp, and then you're an elementals comp, and then you win the lobby. I do think that in that time where it was elementals and like the death rattle poisonous, like divine shield poisonous, that was actually kind of interesting, but they nerfed selfless hero, so that kind of went away a little bit, and also nerfed the poisonous spore. So
yeah.
All right, least favorite hero to face.
I mean, like,
Filters out, right?
no, I don't. I probably Deathwing if you're not ready for the comp, because like you can just slap Deathwing with his own comp, but like if Deathwing has the stuff, oh man, and especially because at the very end it pops open seven tokens and you take 12 damage for losing a fight just barely.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't go with the unpopular opinion of Bartender Bob.
Hey.
Oh,
So, but yeah, you are right. Like, if you're not ready for that Deathwing, then you're in for a really rough time.
Yeah.
And even though it's like something you can play around, it's difficult to play around it every single time because you have to take into account every other opponent and player in the lobby.
Yeah.
So
it's not like where Deathwing was the king and like it was just like see a rat pack, pick a rat pack, because otherwise Deathwing's gonna just power level to 6 with one rat pack.
Yeah.
So it's not as incentivized to build with the Deathwing in mind, but it's still kind of there. But yeah, when you're not ready, like your stat comp hasn't offered you stuff for it, and then you get slapped by Deathwing early, that feels bad.
absolutely.
So, this question's from Diamond. Do you dig on one? And I'll add the other question. Why are you picking Eudora? But
I mean, Eudora used to be the queen, and it was dig on one. You never skip dig day. It's arena.
are you
It's been
serious?
Battlegrounds.
Dig on one?
Oh yeah,
That
for real.
that's so bad.
Not well
What
now
are
it
you
is.
doing?
Now
Like,
it
you
is.
need a speed advantage against your opponent to even make that strategy viable. And if you don't, you're just giving them free hit plus free tech up. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like,
Hey,
I love this roast
Hey.
right now.
I mean, when she was not nerfed, like now I just don't pick her. But when she was the pick, it was dig on one.
okay,
That was how you high roll.
let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
I love that.
and I love that this is the last question.
Yeah, it's just such a. Oh wait, we have one more.
Yeah,
memnarch, do you want to
yeah.
take it or do you want me to?
All right,
No, somebody else.
all
has to
right.
do this.
I think I can take this one. All right. Say hypothetically, like in theory, you are up 2-0, having beaten your opponent's Mally Druid twice. They Q Mally Druid again, and you bring Reno Priest, and on turn 9 you Lucia and destroy their combo. How do you sleep at night?
Well, I do want to clarify that the Druid opponent had lightning bloomed into the.
I mean, this is hypothetical.
Oh, sorry. Hypothetical. Yeah, let's say they hypothetically lightning bloom into the Geppetto, and then it just it just knocks you right out. You feel pretty good.
Yeah. And let's say hypothetically, the druid just signs off and
Does and then messages you later.
Chain smokes for an hour on the back porch.
I'm sorry.
We're a family-friendly show, so we don't smoke. Yeah. No. That might have happened.
Maybe.
Right. Anyways, that's it for our interview. Thank you, Based. I really appreciate you answering all our questions. You gave me more understanding on how the Battlegrounds Series was, developed. I really appreciate you putting all the work you put into this because I'm having fun. I'll say that in the past 3 months, I haven't played as much Hearthstone. I liked this meta, but I didn't like the past meta. And preparing for Battlegrounds, I played more Hearthstone than I've played in 3 months. I got hooked on playing Battlegrounds again. I don't know why, but I hadn't played in a while, and I forgot how fun it was. So I really appreciate you, developing the series, and I'm also playing with new players on my team. Like, not new players, but players I haven't played with before. So like I'm getting to make new friends. But in all seriousness, like I am, I'm having a good time, and that's because of you, and Mako, and you guys put work into this, and it shows.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, our hat fried his brain doing all of the sheets yesterday. He messaged me today and goes, "Why didn't I just do it last week?" It's like, well,
Hey, that
it's
was
done.
me. That
It's
was
done.
me. The last
Excel turns boys into men.
16 hours.
No.
I had to redo a bunch of sheets from Wild. I had to revamp everything, and it took me 12-ish hours.
Yeah.
So,
If-
lots of fun.
Don't sheets and then Hearthstone, because last time I did that for an entire shift at work, I missed lethal and went, don't care, because I couldn't count.
Yeah, I realized that very early on into my sheets that I couldn't do that. So,
Oh yeah, your brain goes, I don't like numbers.
yeah.
Oh, I live in Excel. I was molded by it at this point.
Memnarch?
Yes. You do not know Excel.
Well, with all that, we do have the Battlegrounds preview now. And I believe we have a meta update since there's a patch recently.
Yep. So we just recently had so elementals saw nerfs, but the bigger news is they now rotate out.
Oh no, did we lose Mike? Mike, please. We need you.
F's in the chat for Mike. Pay respects.
Yeah, F's in the chat.
God.
I'll start. F.
Okay. I'll try to cover what Mike was trying to cover. So elementals can be rotated out, so you can have matches without elementals now. Pirates still have slight buffs, as did demons and the menagerie comps. So they're a little bit more viable now. Hero changes have significantly buffed Queen Wag Toggle with a +2/+1 hero power to possibly be one of the top heroes in Battlegrounds, if not the best.
She is the statistically best hero right now.
She is the best. So there you go. Her buff made her the best. Elise is now viable with a 2-cost map, and she is very good as well. Rakanishu, George, and Ysera have a lot of potential riding on them. They could improve. Keep an eye on them. And other heroes are buffed, but they're not doing as great. So, outside of that, demon builds are seeing more play, but due to people not being able to rely on elementals, even when they're present, they're still less popular. So, with that said, we have 12 teams to go through. Oh no, we lost. We actually did lose Memnarch. That's okay.
Official F.
No, I'm still here.
We lost Mike.
Oh
We
no.
lost Mike.
Oh no, this messed up my screen. Everyone on Twitch is going to see.
I mean, that's just embarrassing.
It's fine. We're going to start with the first team. First one, we were actually talking about earlier, is For the Boys. Captain is basedinc. Based, you are here. It's your team with you, Dabs, Diamond, and German Shep. Walk us through it.
Yeah, so I'm still pretty active in the For the Boys server as kind of help, and I got lots of friends who played there last season. So German Shep goes, who wants to play BGs? And these are the 4 people who said yeah, and Diamond didn't want a captain, so here I am. We got a lot of people who play BGs pretty casually, but Dabs is asking who streams. He's about to go hard, so we're gonna have a fun time.
My God, I just did that entire.
Oh, you did?
And I was alone in silence. I can't believe that.
It's okay. It's fine.
That's like 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Well, we just covered For the Boys, and we have another team up next. Team number 2 is Meat Stack. Base, you also have this, right?
Yeah, I'll take this one as well. So this team played in the test weekend. They did pretty well. I think they got 3rd or 4th. But it's a group of HSA. Booze and Ghost are currently playing on HSA, and Blue Sombrero and Scritch are some old HSA members, but good friends. Blue Sombrero is, I think BG's is now his main game mode, and if you don't know anything about Blue Sombrero, he is very good at Hearthstone. So this could be a team to watch out for. And I would not be surprised to see an MMI sub, and MMI also very good at Hearthstone, and he really only plays BGs. He says he's retired from THL, but you never know.
Who knows?
You never know. Indeed.
You never know.
People have a tendency to come back.
Yeah, I mean, he came back so he could, be eligible for Hall of Fame, which he got instantly. So,
Of course.
yeah.
So, that in mind.
All right.
Next up, Phantom Force.
Phantom Force. A sub team led by Fire Emblem Z, aka Zach, who finished at 9K MMR. The pretty impressive thing is that the rest of the team has 5-figure MMR players. So, they all finished 10K plus. So, this is definitely a team to watch out for.
Yeah, they're all very strong, and Zach is in the chat going off. So, Zach, shout out to you. This is a very good team you put together.
How'd you assemble this team, Zach? This seems like a very strong team.
Tell us now.
Yeah, tell us now.
I mean, I can actually kind of explain that one.
Yes, please do.
So Zach is somebody I know, personally, and I invited him to THL once we started the BG series, and he goes, "How do I make a team?" And I was like, "Hey, look, there's 4 people right here you could pick up," and so he DM'd them and formed a team real quick.
Oh, it's a very strong one. So.
Oh yeah.
Well done.
Awesome.
So we know where his secrets now. So we just need to randomly DM 10K plus players.
Hey, so are you telling me that's not how Posca formed Power Creeps?
That may have been how he formed Power Creeps, but I'm not in liberty to go into that.
Yeah, okay.
I may or may not have done the same thing for F2L Viridian.
Hey, that's the way to do it. I mean, you have the connections, use them.
So
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Always Go Flurgle.
All right, I'm going to try to make it through this without disconnecting. I contacted Hockey Boys for this, and the response I got was, I think our team is decently strong. Steffi and Riots are both 7 to 8K Battlegrounds players, and Clear and I are both in the 6K. We're all looking forward to the new league. Should have took that word out.
League format series.
Oh no.
Cancel the show.
It was a good run, guys.
All right, guys. Well, let's just give away all the packs because this show's off the air. And you'll know when you're playing against us because we're always going Flurgle.
So, Murlocs, huh?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Well, there is no Flurgle, so.
I'm surprised Super Murloc isn't on this team.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Steffi came back for this, I guess.
Yeah, Steffi's back.
Yeah, Steffi being back is great. I have no idea who Steffi is because I haven't been here long enough. But having spoken to a lot of veterans, they've known Steffi for a while, and it's always good to have people come back to THL and try new things again with old friends. So, best of luck to them. Now,
all right.
Team number.
Now this is a really interesting one. See, Little Rags Raiders. All right,
Yeah.
So contrary to popular belief, they're not a team, but it's a sitcom where Watching to Win teaches 3 guys from 3 different countries how to play BGs. And then they proceed to learn about friendship.
Mike, you want to elaborate on that?
How this translates. Yeah, I'm not sure about how this translates into, winning a Battlegrounds Series, but, learning about friendship is very important. And if I learned anything from watching cartoons growing up, it's that the power of friendship can pull you through almost anything in a card game.
So when you learn about friendship, you win in the end. I mean, right?
All right. You guys just need to Sharpie a smiley face onto all 4 of your guys' hands, and then beat Kaiba.
Yeah, you'll just you'll be like Power Rangers. You'll all put your hands together, and you'll make the smiley face, and then you'll turn into a giant robot and beat them. Easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
So-
Washing the Wind is very good. Not that Reverb and Neju Boston aren't, and I'm learning. But we played with I mean, Neju and Reverb are good too. But Washing the Wind, we played a practice match or practice session last night, and Wash had some serious insight. So I'm excited. I
Well then.
keep saying that, but I'm excited. I'm
Oh.
tired, so
On to the next team. We have Tier 1. So, Tier 1 is a team led by Jerry Damage. Most people would know Jerry. Jerry's a very nice person. Been in THL for plenty of time. This team is looking to be an underdog. Oh, wait. That is not the right team. Why is
Not the
this?
roster.
Oh, no. The roster is messed
Oh,
up.
no.
Guys,
We
we're
can
getting canceled.
we wanna just
Yeah.
shoutcast that. All right. So on that team, we got Jerry Damage, Jammies, Bass or Bass, and Haster. So
Yes.
little old, little new of THL.
Yeah,
I
it'll
think.
be very interesting to see. So, okay. It's fine. Nothing happened. It's fixed. Well, no,
All
nothing's
right,
fixed.
yeah.
It was always that way. It's fine. No one knows anything.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but yes, this team is definitely an underdog team. A lot of old faces, a lot of new faces, and it'll be interesting to see how the chemistry works in the BG's lobby with that in mind. So, anyways,
All right.
team
Now that
number
nothing actually-
7.
Now that there was no snafu, and we can proceed on to the next one.
Yes, Bob's Bounty Hunters.
All right. Does Bob know about this? Like, you think he would be upset? Because, he runs a really, underground enterprise, and straight up announcing that you're his bounty hunter seems to have annoyed him or could annoy him.
Yeah,
Because then he's out.
Bob gets stream sniped all the time, and he does fine. Like,
That's true.
he's undefeated for a reason.
Well, anyway, apparently these bounty hunters are made of some primarily high MMR streamers. Oh yeah, they are. I'm looking at the names now.
Yeah.
Like Hapa, Andrasti, and Pokey are all very good. They're minimum 10k and definitely been over 11k before. Like, I believe they've all been on the leaderboard as well.
Yeah, this is like one of the teams to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are strong. So,
Yeah, like
Yeah, they are in my lobby for this week. So, yay.
best of luck.
Yeah.
good luck, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be a rough one.
I'm
So.
going to have fun. So.
Don't worry, you'll have friendship by the end of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
New friends.
So, on to the next one. We have Party Rockers, led by Lemur. Based?
Yeah. We got Lemur, Jester, Bach, Dragon Rider, and JR. So Lemur's not playing, but he's brought on Jester, who's new to THL, but really picked it up pretty quickly. Same with Bach. Really performed well in Hero Series. I don't know if Bach played anything else this season. And then, Dragon Rider of AFG and JR. So a lot of old faces. And let's see what. That's all I had to say is that he's a friendly neighborhood lemur. He does play. I played with him once.
So, what I don't get about his name is that it's either TH Lemur or THL Umer.
I think
Yeah.
Or it's still in there.
I mean, yeah. But like, really, if you put THL L and then another L for your lemur, it looks weird. So I think that he just went with this after joining because THL lemur is one of the oldest members in THL.
Yeah, I think that's on purpose, memnarch.
No, it's definitely not.
Never is.
Never is. Yeah.
So, moving on. Battlegrounds team number 9, the Uncalled For.
I
Mike?
see what they did there.
Yeah, I'm here. The Uncalled For. Team made up of longtime THL players, including former original board member Nade. Nade will be coming back to THL play after a long hiatus. So you've got MartyB, you got Darkside, you have Oz. These are all veteran players. I'm interested to see what this team was going to do because these are all players that are decent in standard, good in standard. I don't know their BG's experience, to be honest, but I know I've played them all in standard. I haven't played Nate in standard, but I've played Matty Ebbs, Darkside, and Oz. I've actually played on teams with Darkside and Oz, and yeah, I mean they're good players. So I think this team could be good, and they're uncalled for.
Well then, yeah, they're there's something. So, okay, Battlegrounds team number 10. We have Ginny in a Bottle. So this one is led by 2-star Mako, and Mako is the brains behind this week's anniversary series. We all know that. So he's behind the 5th anniversary tournament. He's behind all the prizes this week, all the special shows. Well done, Mako. Hoping for the best for you. Now, onto the team. It's led by Swaybe as well. And Swaybe is a well-known streamer in Battlegrounds. Okay, they're pretty good as well. After that, you have Itachi, Coles, and Dr. Fish. So this team is looking pretty good, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
These are all high-level players.
Yeah, they're all very solid in Battlegrounds for the little that I know about Battlegrounds. Guys, I'm so out of my element. Please help.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, Swaybe's a streamer, and you know Itachi very well.
Yeah, Itachi knows his stuff when it comes to Battlegrounds. Coles and Dr. Feach, I trust, also know the same. Mako would not put a team together knowing that they wouldn't be competitive. So I believe Ginny and a Bottle will be very competitive this season.
Yes, I agree.
So, there's 2 teams left. One of those teams, concede your match. Now, this team is going to cream the competition. Been waiting to say that all week.
Yep.
So, your Monk is captaining. You got Lol Nenko, Agent PWE, and the letter W. All of these are very strong players. Lol Nenko has been in THL on and off for a bit. Very strong player. Has been in several different competitions in multiple formats, both standard and wild. Seeing him in Battlegrounds, no surprise here. Very competitive player, very strong. PWE, very competitive as well. Been around THL for a while. Seeing good things. I believe this is a very good team overall.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, no pros here.
Very this is basically no pros here. That's right.
Yeah.
Last time I saw this team was in the no pros here 3v3. So they did not have letter W, though, because letter W is solely a Battlegrounds player.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not 100% familiar with letter W, so that's...
Yeah,
no
letter W, very strong. So, finally, last but not least, we have Friends of Bob, captained by Wild9. Based?
Yeah, so this is another team that played the test weekend and actually took down the whole thing, which I should say, I believe, concede your match, sorry. They also played in the test series. But yeah, so this is the team that actually won the test series. A lot of new-ish players, and Bill Snyder, very much a veteran, but they did really well. I guess they had a lot of fun, so they want to run it back.
Yeah, I mean, Wild9 played with him in Legacy this past season. Great player. Bill Snyder, played against him many times. He's always beat me. And Sheriff, he's been playing in Wild this past season. He's great. Superhero, I'm not 100% familiar with, but I'm sure. I mean, if they won, they seem intimidating. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the last team.
Yeah, I think that is all of them. So we have one last thing. Correct?
Yes, we do.
And that is the prize giveaway. So at some point in the show, we looked at who was in the chat, and we decided to take a screenshot of that, input everyone's names into a randomizer, and then select a winner from there. I didn't say when it was, but we did do it, and we do have a winner. Mike, you're the one behind this, so you know who the winner is, correct?
Yes.
Do we know that it is not a bot, according to Diamond?
Yep.
We do know.
I mean, it has to be a bot, right?
Well, this isn't
So we don't
Reddit.
know.
This is Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Not everyone's a bot here. So, Mike, are you ready to announce those packs and who the winner is?
Yes. Drum roll, please. The winner of the THL 5th anniversary giveaway is Anfall.
Anfall.
And
Mako
follow
will be
P.
yes, Anfall. We will reach out to you after the show, and you will get your packs from Mako. He will cover you. Congratulations.
Where's my
Rigged.
emote?
Yes, 100% rigged. All for you. Yep. Randomizer, it was your randomizer. You always came up first. You got us. So. But yes, thank you.
Yep. All right. Well, that's the show for tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed it. First time covering Battlegrounds. Probably the last.
We will see.
But I really appreciate you coming on. Fantastic interview. I hope everyone got the information they were looking for here. Anfall, congratulations. Thank you, NHL, for OPing and all the work you do behind the scenes. memnarch, thank you. And everyone have a fantastic evening.
And good night.
Yeah.